to make use of the quiz API. Every single endpoint on the quiz API has been protected, so you need to be authenticated before you can access any of the endpoint, except for the register and the login endpoint, which helps you register a user and get an access token respectively. So to create a user requires just three things. First is a username, which I'll call say quiz maker. It's important to know that usernames cannot contain spaces, just letters, numbers, and underscore. Next is an email address. I'll call this quiz at email.com. And next is a password. The only restrictions on password is the number of characters, which is supposed to be at least 8 characters. So I'll give mine 8 characters: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I'll create a user. So creating a user gives me a usual ID, which will be important as time goes on, because I'll be needing this user ID for other purposes. So having my email and my user created, next I want to log in to get in the details of to get in an access and a refresh token. So to do that, I'll just make a request with this details have already been there, and I get an access and a refresh token. I'll be using the access token to make requests to protected endpoints. So I'll copy my access token, um, come to the authentication, the token here which has been stored, and then I'll replace what has been there before, and then I'll save it also so I can use it in other endpoints. So with this endpoint here, the /auth/me, I can get details of a particular of the currently logged in user. I can just send that, and then I have the UID of my user, the username, and the email address. Only the currently logged in user can access this endpoint. So next, I would start creating a quiz. We have different endpoints here to work with a quiz. We have one that contains quiz detail, listing number of quizzes that are already existing, and this will create a quiz. So first I will listing existing quizzes. So if I list quizzes here, you'd see quizzes that have been created by other users that's been marked as public to be true, meaning they are public already, so anyone could access them and take such quizzes. But I'll start with creating my own personal quiz. So I'll start with creating, I'll just add a title. That's all I need to create a quiz. I'll call this initial quiz, and I just make a post request to this endpoint, and then we have this. So it has a UID for the quiz, that's a created timestamp and a modified timestamp. Also has a title contain the initial quiz, and then the public details, which is currently false by default, and the owner UID, which is the same UID as the user which we got here, same UID. So after creating a quiz, next thing is to add questions to that quiz, and from there we'll go to the quiz detail, um, where we can then add a question to the quiz. So I'll go to the questions, and then I'll go to create question. So create question, all I need to put in is in the URL, I need to put in the UUID of the quiz I just created. So I'll get the UUID of the quiz I just created, which is this. I'll copy it and go to create question, and just replace this with the UID there. As you can see, I already have a pre-filled question here created. We have the text, which is the text of the question, and we have the answers here. We have 4 answers. By default, can only accept 5 answers. Only 5 answers is maximum, but here I'm specifying just 4 answers to work with. So with this, I can just create an answer. So when I create an answer, by default, I can set my answer to be true. So this is the actual correct answer among the answers here. So I can then make a post request for this, and I have my question created. So we have here, you see details, you have the UID, created, timestamp, modified, text, and whether it's an answer. In this case, British is definitely false, and we have the UID of the question itself. We also have the UID of the answers, which we'll be making use of when we are taking the quiz or when we want to edit an answer. So we have this created. We also have the created, modified, timestamp, and the text of the particular question.